not looking for any trouble either, sir. I simply want to buy a jumbo top. For my little.
Oh, come on, kid. Back up. Listen, buddy. What? There aren't any Fox ice cream joints in your project town?
Oh, no. There are. It's just my boy, this confidence because he loves for this album. Wants to be one of Jamie Wilson.
Hey, you're holding on the line, man. Oh, excuse me.
Hey, you're gonna have to wait your turn like everyone else here, mate.
Actually, I'm also. Are your customer aware they are getting snot and mucus with their cookies and cream?
What are you talking about?
Well, I don't want to cause you any trouble, but I believe scooping ice cream with ungloved tongue is a class 3 health violation, which is kind of a big deal. Of course, I couldn't let your reader worry if you word glove does something. I don't know. He's selling this myself and he's what is it?
A jumbo top. Please.
A jumbo top.
$15.
Hey, you, buddy, my shop. It was just wrong. Look, he's getting away. Well, a little copper now.
Oh, sorry, sir. I got this. Stop. You okay? Are you okay? Sir, I'm not a bad guy. That's my job.
Your job is free tickets home, class.
Chief, Mrs. Upton's here to see you again.
Not now.
Okay, I just didn't know if you want to take it this time. She seems
Not now!
Sir, I don't want to be a mirror mate. I want to be a real cop.
Life isn't some cartoon musical where you sing a real song and your instead dreams magically come true.
Chief, go, please. 5 minutes of your time, please. I'm sorry, sir. I tried to stop her. She's delivery. I gotta go sit down. My husband missing for 10 days. His name is Emil Otterton. He's a florist. He would never just disappear.
Ma'am, our directives are very busy.
Please.
I'll find him.
Oh, that's your little bunny. Take this. Find my Emil. Bring him home to me and my babies, please.
Miss Rotten, please, wait out here. You're fired!
What?
Insubordination! Now, I am going to open this door and you're going to tell the owner your former major builders of Greenville who will not be taking the case.
I just hope Officer Hobbs is taking the case. The memo Lincoln initiated is really starting to pay off.
Real hope is just not so just, and I sent it and it's gone, so I did do that. Alright, well, I'd say the case is in good hands. Also, you guys really need to stick together, right?
Like blue.
Good luck. Just call me if you ever need anything, okay? You've always got to find the CMG. Alright, bye-bye.
Thank you, man.
I'll do 48 hours.
Yes! This is it.
Carrots, if you want was here. He had my backpack.
Oh, wait, look. This is him. Every working. He was completely here. What did he happen?
I know whose car this is. We got one.
I'm not looking. This is the fight scene.
Well, it's gonna be when we are crime scene if Mr. Lee wasn't here, so we are leaving right now.
Oh!
Mr. Bixer, this is a simple missummary. Oh, I did say nothing. I'm not saying nothing.
And you never win.
Please, no.
Oh, Daddy, it's time for our dance. What did he say? No killing anyone at my wedding.
I have to, baby. Daddy has to.
Wait. She's the bunny that symbol like yesterday.
This bunny?
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, I love your dress.
Oh, thank you.
Put him down. You have done me a great service. I will help to find the Otterton.
11, 12, 13, 14. Not including my chest is 14. Chief Fogg handed out 14 missing memory files. They are here. All their memories are like here.
No, I don't want to express it.
Doctor, I want answer.
Here are your notes, please. We're doing everything we can.
Really? Cause I got a dot and a heart animal here. Who's gonna the race crazy, and you can't tell me why. Now, I don't call that overly burdened every day.
Sir, it may be time to consider their biology.
What? What do you mean by words?
The only animals going slash are predators. We cannot keep it a secret. We need to come forward.
Not here.
Sir, we need to go. Now! Security, take the area.
I'm so nervous. It's okay. You can do it. Officer Hobbs, it's time.
Now, I will turn this over to the officer to correct the case. Officer report.
Well, all we know is that they are all members of the predator family. It may have something to do with biology, a biological component, something in their DNA. What I mean is, thousands of years ago, predators survived through their aggressive hunting instincts. For whatever reason, they seem to be reverting back to their primitive savage ways. And we at the Speedy are prepared and are here to protect you. Was that okay?
Oh, you did fine.
That went so fast. I didn't get a chance to mention you or say anything about how we...
Oh, I think you say plenty.
What do you mean?
Clearly, there's biological components. Are you serious?
I just stated the fact of the case. I mean, it's not like a bunny could go savage. You know what I mean. You are not the kind of predator.
Hey, kids, don't you run through that. Midnight camp's horrors. There's a few other words which age my family always just calls them night howlers.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Oh, geez, talking about those flowers, Judy. I use them to keep bugs off the produce, but I don't like the little ones going near them on account of what happened to your Uncle Terry.
A bunny can go savage. The night owlers aren't wolves. They are flowers. The flowers are making the predator go savage. That's it. That's what I've been missing. Nick? Oh, Nick. Night owlers aren't wolves. They are toxic flowers. I think someone is targeting predator on purpose and making them go savage.
Wow, is that interesting?
Wait, please. I can't do it without you. I really am just a dumb bunny.
Don't worry, I will let you erase it in 48 hours.
Serious? I know they are fast. I can hit him. Listen, I hit a tiny little otter through the open window of a moving car.
Hey, no. This guy did not that.
Alright, Ultor and Jesse were bad. So I'm leaving now.
Hey, where you go? What are you doing? We needed to get this evidence to the CPD. Oh, there is it. Judy? We're very good. We found out what's happening. I'm so proud of you, Judy. You did just a super job. How did you know where to find us? Get them! We're on the same team, Judy. Underestimated, underappreciated. Aren't you sick of it? No! Me! There's police. There's a savage box in the Natural History Museum. Officer Hobbs is down. Please hurry. Wake up, Nate. What? I framed the line out. I can frame you too. It's my word against yours. Actually.
Let's go.
Wait!
No!
Wait!
좋은 선배들, 좋은 친구들과 함께해서 너무 즐거운 시간이었고 비백과 함께여서도 행복한 시간이었던 것 같습니다. 영어에 자신감이 더 붙고 더 활기찬 학교 생활을 꿈꿀 수 있게 됐습니다. 즐거웠고 행복했습니다.
네, 만세.
Hello, we are Dakshin Post. We will introduce the article we published this year. Before that, I will introduce the reporters.
Hello, I'm the student reporter Im Young-chang.
Hello, I'm student reporter Go Seok-hyun.
Hello, I'm student reporter Kim Ye-bin.
And I'm the head of Dakshin Post, Lee Soo-kwon. From now, we are going to read the articles for you. On May 4th, 2021, the future-oriented space called GRACE opened. GRACE stands for Grow, Refresh, Achieve, Challenge, and Enjoy. It emphasizes the purpose of the place. It was designed and decorated by the efforts of Mrs. Han and some of our students. On the opening ceremony, 7 representatives participated, including the president of our student council, the board of directors, the principal, the representative of parents' council, and Mrs. Han. On that day, our county governor, Yu Chun-ho, gave a congratulatory speech at Grace. Dakshin Post visited Gangwon County office to interview the officer working at the education department. An officer working at the education department said that this year's Future Classroom project was conducted to promote students' creativity. Also, they have a plan to increase the number of dormitories located in Seoul. He also mentioned that if COVID-19 ends, our county government will resume the suspended exchange student system to Thailand and the United States.
We interviewed the 2 teachers of our school to let you know how a new and a senior teacher had thought of our school. To figure it out, we interviewed Ms. Kim Hae-bin and Ms. Kang Seung-young. To the question asking whether they have had difficulties working for our school, Ms. Kim said that she had. This is because she had a lot of things to run and rules to follow. Ms. Kang said that it was really hard to teach the students who do not listen carefully to hard words. Ms. Kim said our school had our own strengths in that our teachers can take care of almost every student thanks to its relatively small size. On the other hand, Ms. Kang said that our students are really fair and the student-teacher relationship is much closer than other schools.
These pictures were drawn by students of Dakshin High School. During the first semester of art class, the works made by first-year students were exhibited in the hallway on the first floor. The first photo is of art using an optical illusion. The second photo shows the letters designed by our students using various tools such as paints and pastels. Third, students drew self-portraits of the first-year students using the stencil technique. The art teacher of our school, Han Suk-hyun, said that she was very grateful to the first-year students for their hard working and she would like to conduct other classes if there is another opportunity. Do you know Harvesting Club of our school? The club Cocoa Farm is a student club which cares for the small farm behind our school area. They plant various vegetables and observe how they are changing in the process of growth. The picture above shows the club students digging the ground to plant vegetables. In the second semester, kimchi-related crops such as cabbage and radish will be grown. And at the end of this year, kimchi sharing activities are planned to be carried out to help those in need.
On May 17, 2021, Nam Hyun-hee, a former fencing national player, visited Deoksin High School. This day's lecture was prepared to help students who have difficulty choosing a career path and to teach them the value of challenging life. What she emphasized most on her lecture was setting goals and challenging. During her career as an athlete, she suffered from many difficulties, such as frequent injuries and childbirth, which is fatal for the athlete. During her career as an athlete, she had a hard time because she had short stature compared to adult players, got frequent injuries, and got pregnant, which made her temporarily quiet from her. Nevertheless, she said that she was able to overcome these difficulties because she constantly challenged herself for the goals she had set. Also, she said, if there is a 99% chance of failure and a 1% chance of success. On April 16, 2021, our student council held the event to commemorate the victim of Sewol ferry tragedy, which occurred on April 16, 2014. The council members handed out memorial ribbons and posted notices to students and teachers of our school, and they asked them to write letters to commemorate the victims. The letters written by the students and teachers were gathered together and a sheet of memorial piece was finally made. The work was displayed in front of the main gate of Deoksin High School for a day long.
We interviewed the two teachers of our teacher head job of other question.
To the question. 네. Why? 다시. Short stature. 다시 해보겠습니다. On ferry tragedy, which
다시 할게요.
Do you know hardest thing club of our school?
Oh my god.
It has been a while, my friend.
Oh, that's Margaret. Nice to meet you. How wonderful to see you these days.
I know, it's all because the country is so busy. They easily calling us in the army every day.
Even though I worked till my hands are worn out, I couldn't get anything to eat.
It's really unfair. Even if I work hard all day, I can eat a proper meal a day.
This is really terrible. I'm trembling even I'm just standing.
Hey, everything's right. Let's forget everything and make a toast today.
Yes, I promise. Never change it, even if we talk about it. Just raise your glasses, friend.
Here's to our bright future. Bottom up!
By the way, voices of revolution are growing both inside and outside the country.
That's true. It's an honor to die for faith rather than while working.
I can die while working without meaning.
You're right. I can just tremble when you're sitting like this.
I don't even know if it is okay to hand over these countries to our children.
If we think we are adults in the country, it may be right to start a revolution.
You're right. Nothing changes without a revolution.
Hey, what's your mouth? What are you talking about? What nonsense make us drunk? That's right. People say that these days have already died without knowing. Do you really think that we are a country that revolutionized and changed? There is no hope in this country. Don't live your life for nothing.
Please drink quietly and go home. Don't kill many people.
I can't believe it. Did you see what happened yesterday? It's reality. This is reality.
I don't have any colleagues with me anymore. How should I live?
Henry, why did you leave me alone? I miss the time I enjoyed with you. God, did you have to take them like this? What are they? Why should you brutally take their life? Now, we are only ones left. by and watch this state affairs. We need to work with them too.
When we get together, there's nothing we can do. For the dead.
Hold up the sword, everyone. Hold up your guns, everyone. Today, we didn't want to live, nor did we want to remain noble in history.
That's right. We must protect this country for us and for our family. Let's get our freedom. Let's move our hearts headed for France.
If you and I and we could live over it.
May now fear, have hope, for my freedom to love with all my life.
For the France, country for freedom, my country who will live it forever.
Our homeland friends, we offer you freedom. Fly the spread of flag again.
The soldiers are living! Level stop! Soldiers are living! Victory!
Victory! Oh my god! We have got our Even if countless despairs and frustration come to us, we will go on.
If we ever meet the same mind, we can do everything.
Victory!
왜 잡히지?
괜찮아. 경빈이 안 나오는데? 나 이렇게.
영상을 찍고 있는 거야?
몰라, 나도 왜 찍고 있는 거야?
야, 근데 지금 영상 안 누른 거 아니야?
아니, 놀랐어.
누른 거 봤어?
Good afternoon, delegates. This is the United Nations Environment Program. My name is Yesung Oh. I will be your chair for today's meeting. This committee will be discussing one agenda item, achieving universal access to safe and affordable water in developed countries. The committee will now hear opening speeches for all delegates. This will be done alphabetically. Each delegate has 90 seconds to speak, no motions will not allowed, and the remaining time is yielded back to the chair. Cutting between the speeches is not in order. Delegate of Canada, please come to the podium and give your speech.
Dear Chairman and Delegates, this is the Delegate of Canada. Canada promises to cooperate actively to promote peace in the safe and affordable supply of water to underdeveloped countries on this agenda. This delegate takes a positive stance on supplying appropriate water considering the current situation in underdeveloped countries. Canada will actively cooperate in supplying safe and affordable water and hope that the issues related to water supply will be completed as soon as possible.
The lack of clean water makes it difficult to apply COVID-19 prevention measures and poverty. Across the global, water is a major contributor to hunger, and water is the world's most serious health threat. However, unsanitary conditions in many developing countries continue to suffer from conditions of poverty and disease.
Distinguished presidencies, dear ambassadors of each country, this is the delegate of India speaking. Currently, half of the country, which is about 600 million people, are suffering from water shortage, and 200,000 people are dying every year from drinking contaminated water. Concerns regarding this problem grow as the situation becomes more serious in summer. Extreme heat affects rivers and reservoirs, drying out water and causing drought, leading to starvation. In addition, due to rapid industrialization, large amounts of wastewater was produced and it is polluting the water. This makes it impossible for people to use existing water, and due to the lack of water tanks. It's difficult to store water even in rainy seasons. To solve this problem, India supplied water to the people using trucks loaded with water tanks, but the water mafia who wants to make profit by selling private wells.
Dear Chairman and Ambassadors, this is Kenyan Ambassador. This ambassador would like to express his gratitude to the Chairman and Ambassadors for setting the direction for the agenda. This ambassador informs us that the dispute over water has intensified as climate change has led to frequent heavy rains and drought. Therefore, in this discussion, this delegate would like to express that I will take an active position in finding a direction for policy development to overcome the educational gap. In order to solve the water shortage caused by this country has installed a water vending machine, a drinking water
water environmental support project and a sustainable water resource supply. Kenya can still develop it, but there are economic difficulties in home country where there are no consumers. In this respect, the country asks for optimized, appropriate technical support and sustainable business to find a better solution. Respectful Chairman and dear delegates, this is the delegate of Republic of Korea. This delegate would like to express his gratitude to the Chairman and delegates for setting the direction for the agenda. This delegate recognizes that international support and cooperation are essential to solve the problem, especially in developing and poorer countries. Through KOICA, which is Korea International Cooperation Agency, Korea promotes water support based on the role and importance of water, which is the basis of the health and welfare of the poor and an essential element for economic activities. It is necessary to contribute to poverty reduction by supplying the necessary amount of water. This delegate informs you that we are willing to actively cooperate with this meeting to find a better solution. The Republic of Korea will actively participate in finding ways to solve the water shortage and hope to come up with the best alternative.
At this point, are there any motions or points are here? Yes, Delegate of India.
Motion to move into order caucus for 30 minutes, individual speaking time for 90 seconds for the purpose of sharing ideas.
Since Delegate of India first raised the motion, she will be our first speaker. Delegate of India, you have been recognized. Please come up to the podium and give your speech.
In the summer of 2019, India's southernmost region suffered the worst water shortage, and the most of the four major reservoirs in groundwater near Chennai were depleted, causing a huge setback in the operation of major services such as hospitals and schools. Through this, the Indian government not only strengthened the health of drinking contaminated water, but also predicts that this could lead to starvation because about 90% of India's water use is used for agriculture. In addition, as the pandemic continues, the Indian government is currently considering pollution through the Ganges River. Therefore, in this session, delegate would like to discuss way of countries that have strengths in purification system or have overcome precedents such as India.
First of all, this delegate hopes Canada's policy will help the direction of the session, as the delegate of India said. Canada has uncontaminated rivers and uses more than 50% of water purification cost of taxes. In this policy, the direction of use of the above tax is very satisfying to the people. In terms of technology, the Canada understands that Kenya has introduced smart cards.
Kenya has now introduced a smart code to get water at a low price. Drinking water has been restored to some extent, but other areas are still poor in hygiene. This delegate thinks all countries need to find a solution to the development of local water supply for development countries.
At this point, are there any points or motion on the floor?
Motion to move into a moderate caucus for 30 minutes for the purpose of sharing detailed ideas before writing resolution.
There has been a motion to introduce a resolution. This motion automatically passes since it has been approved by the chair and department president. Delegate of Republic of Korea, please come up to the podium and read out the operative.
Acknowledging the role of United Nations Environment Program in finding effective and appropriate measures that can achieving universal access to safe and affordable water in least developed countries.
no more pollution. Taking into consideration to safely build hygienic water facilities in pandemic. Believing that the various problems which is occurred by poor water facilities will be solved if the global society takes its problems into consideration. Aware the seriousness of fine dust and its effects to human beings and endeavor to resolve, suggesting the direction that the cooperation among Canada, Germany, and Republic of Korea hopes to use safe and affordable water which is expected to be more hygienic and directly related to human right to survive, but not limited to those clauses.
Now, the committee will move into the voting procedure to close the debate on the resolution, agenda, and adjourn the meeting. This is a procedural vote that requires of a simple majority to pass. With an overwhelming majority, the motion is passes. Clapping is now in order.
시청해주신 여러분 감사합니다. 지금까지 방문 유영이티였습니다.
It is my honor to give a speech in front of the Honorable President and Mr. As China has getting more industrialized, it's my pollution has more serious. So I'm here with you in panel our solution to money pollution. First, China has introduced the environmental protection tax law. Secondly, we will place a strict limit on the non-recyclable items. A third method devised by the Home Office would reduce nuclear power plants and reduce the amount of nuclear waste. I hope that the countries will actually support this approach. China will do best as well. Thank you for your attention and we look forward to your support.
Dear Chairman, Indonesia has 260 million people and consists of more than 80,000 islands, and 3.22 million tons of waste are thrown away into the ocean in a year. This scale is second highest in the world, and 10% of the world's running waste. Ocean pollution from that.
Although the 4% of population in the whole world is belong to our country, 17% of all plastic waste is making in our country. Plastic waste and other manufacturers which may be caused by our country is main cause of
USA is third of the countries causing ocean pollution while exporting waste to plastic as well as fly shipping. According to Cold Plastic Trash Generation in 2006, more than half of the plastics collected for recycling in our country had gone to other countries.
Country is suffering from severe marine pollution caused by plastic. According to the Australian government science agency CSIRO, 51 marine settlement samples were collected from 6 locations over 3
and also founding specialized institutions that collect marine waste. We can dispose many marine wastes in a number of ways. To summarize our systems, even technology to move many.
Therefore, we cherish the home country. We work with the chairman of each country to find ways to solve marine pollution. First of the 3 solutions devised by the home country has banned the manufacture and marketing of non-biodegradable cotton swabs since January 1st.
Second, the main environmental legislation in my country, 2006, law number 152.
environmental integration, and reshape parties into
60% of the waste is buried across Russia, and only 4% of is recycled, which prevents
The fields are currently below sanitary standards. There is a lack of law and economic incentives for waste management yet. In response, the country will establish a system to provide incentives to replace our sea with produce.
By changes in the ocean because it faces the sea on three sides. In Korea, 105,000 tons of marine waste are generated annually, especially as domestic waste
It has already introduced a water-free water system, which is expected to save over 5.4 billion packaging water this year. It not only can we reduce the amount of plastic produced, but we can also expect
for our home country, Japan. Marine pollution is one of the enormous environmental problems followed by soil and air pollution. Many countries are suffering now because of this massive and it will cooperate with other countries. In the previous case, for example, Chernobyl
wants to open an overactive conference for the total duration time of 10 minutes for the purpose talking about the efficient policies to prevent.
Please raise your flag if you do not want to open this conference. By a vote of 6
company has allowed the production of label-free bottles, and our Korean company has already introduced this system. And it is expected to save about 5.4 million.
Republic of Korea to make it another problem that problem of having trouble distinguishing of
wants to open up a moderated conference for the total duration time of 10 minutes. For the purpose of talking about the extent of damage by the
145,000 tons of marine waste is generally emitted annually. According to the Ministry of Oceans and Fisheries 2019 survey of marine
awareness of marine waste disposal and human wasting 91% of the trash found on 46 Italian beaches was thrown through toilets and entered the sea. According to the Ministry of Environment, 95%
United States had about 40,000 to 110,000 tons of marine waste. Furthermore, according to Science News, 70% of marine environmental report, second class water with good quality decreased by 4.7%, and third class water decreased by 21.7% respectively. In addition,
Is there any delegates to open a conference more?
then every conference is ended.
As it is almost time for the end, the whole process is ended. Everyone did a great job. It's time to announce the cooperation decided during the commemorated conference. The representative of cooperation, please raise the flag and present both the subject of the resolution and members of the corporation. Then please submit each group's resolutions after the committee until August 30th.
Although we have suffered during the preparation time, I think we achieved meaningful results from this conference. Thank you for joining this conference actively. I hope to make the world more well-being after this conference. Thank you.
There are many people who think doctor is important, but there are many people who do not know what it is actually important.
And for those people, we are going to present various characteristics of doctor. Let me introduce Dokdo Island.
Dokdo consists of two islands. It is 87.4 kilometers southeast of Ugungdo and 160 kilometers southeast of Okinawa Island in Japan.
The administrative area is 1237 Dokdo Mountain, Ulleung, Gyeongsangbuk-do. It is also designated as Korea's Natural Monument number 336.
Dokdo is formed by volcanic eruptions and reaches a height of 2,000 meters. Moreover, Dokdo is known to be rich in natural gas and methanhydrate resources.
Also, 22 species of birds live in Dokdo, including sea lions, thistles, turtles, black pigeons, crows, and red beetles.
As a plant in Dokdo, there are 5 groups of woody plants, including seasonal trees, giant porcupine trees, camellia, and Baoli rice trees.
Among the plant species native to Dokdo, the species that maintain original vegetation include Japanese spiny lobster, pineberry, and sea chrysanthemum.
These are the most stable taxonomic groups for the natural environment of Dokdo and will continue to symbolize Dokdo.
The Dokdo Sunchul tree is the oldest existing tree in Dokdo, and it is designated as Natural Monument number 538.
So far, we have learned about Dokdo's location and characteristics, and many animals, plants living there.
Also, Dokdo Island has several natural monuments. There seem to be more surprising things in Dokdo than we thought. Thank you for listening to our presentation.
Seeing this economic value of Dokdo Island, Japan unilaterally called Dokdo a Japanese territory in 1905, and has continued to claim that it belongs to Japan. They call Dokdo Takeshima and insist on designating Takeshima Day. In February 1905, Japan incorporated Dokdo into Japanese territory by claiming that it was moved through Notice No. 40 of Shimone Prefecture. Japan said, in the past, Korea did not know that there was Dokdo Island. But Japan has been fishing near Ulleungdo Island since the 1600s. Therefore, Dokdo Island was discovered by Japan first, and it was actually Japanese land that Japan used first.
Later, the Cairo Declaration in 1943 and the Potsdam Declaration in 1945 and the Order of the Supreme Command of the United States defined Dokdo as Korean territory in 1946, but the San Francisco Treaty signed in 1951 did not include Dokdo as an island for Japan to Korea. On January 18, 1952, the Korea government announced the Presidential Declaration on Adjacent Maritime Sovereignty and made Dokdo be included in the Peace Line 2 project in protest of this. The Japanese government sent a diplomatic document to the Korean government denying the sovereignty of the Republic of Korea over Dokdo. From then on, Dokdo began to appear as a disputed area in the international community.
Japan, which lost World War II, signed the San Francisco Reinforcement Treaty with the United States, Britain, and China in 1951. This treaty states that Korea's land that Japan forcibly took will be returned. However, there was no promise in the treaty to return Dokdo Island. Based on this treaty, Japan argued that only the land it took after 1910 has to be returned, and that Dokdo Island had been Japanese land since then, so it did not have to be returned. As a result of checking a total of 30 textbooks, most of them contain the Japanese government's unilateral claim over Dokdo Island. First of all, it states on the premise that Japan is Dokdo's territory. Second, it denies the current state of fact. In other words, even though Dokdo is currently under the effective control of Korea, it is included as Japanese territory on the map, and its name is marked as Takeshima. As such, Korea is experiencing territorial disputes with Japan.
Our group is going to present the resolution of territorial disputes with Dokdo Island. Our table of contents is firstly diplomatic solution, and the next is cultural solution. Japan has consistently claimed that Dokdo Island is Japanese territory. However, there is a lot of historical evidence between Japan and Korea that Dokdo Island is our land. First of all, Usan Island and Murong Island are in the middle of the sea in Cheongdong, Ujinhyun. They are not far from each other, so when the weather is clear, you can see them in naked eyes. Second, according to the annals of King Sejong, Dokdo Island is under the jurisdiction of Ulleungdo Island. Also, Korea solves the problem by proving historical evidence to other countries. Evidence proving that Dokdo belongs to Korea is the Korean Decree. In the contents written in Decree number 41 of the Republic of Korea, Ulleungdo Island will be renamed Uldo Island, and the provincial superintendent will be revised to the country governor.
Another solution is designating Dokdo as a tourist destination. First of all, the plan to make Dokdo a tourist destination is to offer a variety of plants, including Three Brothers Rock, Kinbae Rock, Centipede Rock, Kunanbae Rock, and Kokiri Rock around Sado Island. Second, Chotae Rock, which can be seen from Dokdo between Dokdo Iceland, Dongdo Iceland, and Seodo Iceland, is considered of the most popular photo spots among Dokdo Iceland's numerous objects. The second solution is Mark Dokdo Day. 1900 October 25, Dokdo Day was Gojeon groups to mark the work established mechanism of Ulleungdo to Dokdo Iceland. Dokdo Chef Ground established by the day. The second solution is Mark Dokdo Day. 1900 October 25, Dokdo Day was Gojeon groups to mark the work established mechanism of Ulleungdo to Dokdo Iceland. Dokdo Chef Ground established by the day. The Cyber Diplomats Bank 2021 한민족 Network with an distributable poster marking Dokdo Day camp held online. In addition, bank received regular report of notation errors of the Dokdo Accompany Day to share the post. Drone and 10,000 paid coupon 25 won. The last solution is creating a brand of Dokdo Rakai Korea, a clothing and shoe brand. Join hand with Dokdo Sarangundong to launch a shoe called Rakai Korea sneakers and sponsored its profit to Dokdo Iceland to commemorate Dokdo Day on October 25. Recently, Korean celebrity Yoo Jae-seok wore these shoes on a program.
1
One. Up. Up.
Hi, we're Inkling. We're going to have a presentation about small but huge power, hydrogen. What is hydrogen? Hydrogen, the lightest element on Earth, accounts for 75% of the mass of the universe. When hydrogen is used as energy, it generates only water. What's the problem? However, the problem with hydrogen is that it rarely exists in a pure state. Therefore, in order to utilize hydrogen as energy, it is necessary to apply energy to the hydrogen compound.
Hydrogen cars do not leach water. Cars do not emit harmful gases, but instead only discharge water. In this respect, it can be said to be eco-friendly, but there is a problem that greenhouse gases are also generated in the process of producing hydrogen by fossil fuel. To solve this problem, there is a method of producing hydrogen by electrolyzing water, but it requires the use of electrical energy.
Hydrogen is divided into 4 types according to the production method. Hydrogen is not all the same hydrogen. Of this, the most important hydrogen nowadays is green hydrogen. It is eco-friendly without emitting carbon dioxide in the production process. For this reason, the world is paying attention to the production of green hydrogen.
Hydrogen is extracted from biogas, obtained after heating recycled paper and plastic at high temperatures. Also through artificial lift technology, we can obtain hydrogen too.
The UN report analyzed that by 2030, the demand for water will exceed 40% of supply due to population growth. According to the survey, about 1 billion people around the world are having a hard time finding drinking water. This led to the need to secure drinking water, and one of the solutions to this problem was seawater desalination technology. Seawater desalination is a technology that removes impurities from seawater and converts them into fresh water. We will look at the characteristics of distillation and reverse osmosis, which are representative desalination techniques. Distillation is the longest technology used by mankind. Reverse osmosis is a desalination method that utilizes the characteristic of salt containing seawater.
Carbon fibers are attached in the form of hexagonal ring crystals. These molecular structures are used to hold bonds. These molecular bonds have a feature which is 10 times stronger than steel. In terms of weight, carbon fibers have a much lower density than steel. Thus, when steel and carbon fibers exist in the same volume, the weight of the carbon fibers is only 1/4 of steel. Due to the strength and weight characteristics of carbon fibers, it is widely used in fields where weight reduction is effective, such as hull, architecture, automobiles, and sports equipment. Carbon fiber is also used as a carbon nanotube, which is nanotechnology in the spotlight. Through this, it can be seen that the utilization of carbon fibers will be wider in the future.
유전병이 유전자 구조 이상과 수 이상으로 일어난대. 정말? 한번 찾아보자.
First, let's talk about a disease caused by abnormality in number of chromosomes. It is due to poor separation of certain chromosomes during the reproductive cell division process, and most of them are fatal enough to have a short lifespan. Down syndrome is one which has 3 chromosome 21. It shows external deformities and has a weak immune system. Edwards syndrome is the one which has 3 chromosome 18. 50% of patients die within a week because they show unusual appearances such as neurological abnormalities and other fatal symptoms. There are also abnormalities in sex chromosome. Turner syndrome is a disease who has only 1 X chromosome. After puberty, secondary sexual characteristics of women do not appear and has a dwarfism and a short neck. Another one is Klinefelter syndrome, who have 2 X and a Y. In this case, women's characteristics appear and female breasts are developed with a high height.
Secondly, it is chromosome structure abnormality. It is caused during the cell division process. A part of the chromosome fell off, causing changes. The number of chromosomes is normal to 46, but changes occur in genes due to structural abnormalities. There are 4 types of structural abnormality: deletion, duplication, inversion, and translocation. Deletion is when part of chromosome fell off. It's possible to say that this one is the most dangerous one out of 4 types. Cat's-eye syndrome is a disease caused by chromosomal deletion on chromosome 5. It is named because of babies crying sounding like a cat, and various types of physical and mental abnormalities appear. Duplication is when part of chromosome is added one more time and repeats. Cat-eye syndrome is one of the diseases caused by the duplication of chromosome 22. Symptoms such as mental weakness and astrasia happens. Third is inversion, which is part of chromosome fell out and connected again upside down. Most of these show normal phenotype. Last is translocation. It is when part of chromosome fell out and is connected to chromosome other than homologous chromosome. Chronic myeloid leukemia is caused when chromosome translocation happens between chromosome 9 and 22.
The ferry sail disaster is a major disaster in which 304 passengers out of 476 passengers were killed and missing when a passenger ship heading from Incheon to Jeju sank on April 16, 2014.
There have been many misinformation from the media related to the disaster. What were these misinformation and what are the media's effect on the people later?
Let me give you an example of misinformation. There, the passenger ship sank in Jindo Island, but all 338 Dano High School students were rescued. They are entering the restaurant and searching for survivors.
This misinformation also delayed the rescue, further hurting our hearts. In fact, all the students were not rescued, and there was no equipment in the hall, so they could not even enter.
Also, the oxygen supplies device had not even arrived. The media did not confirm the fact, only trusted the government announcement and competed for the breaking news.
Many of these misinformation has led to the loss of trust in the media. When interviewing 16 unspecified people, they all said that they had lost trust in the media. There are many reasons, but misinformation is the main problem.
Most of the people who responded to the interview said their trust in the media were rescued due to the media's competition for breaking news. Another reason is that the same report continues.
In addition, it seems that the public had a hard time continuing to report on the tragic story at a time when the people were grieving over the ferry terror disaster.
In the early days of the incident, some media were more in a hurry to interview the families of the missing and organize the stories of the beaver than to diagnose the cause or rescue.
Due to this influence, the degree of freedom of speech in Korea 2014 fell to 68th place among 200 countries in the world.
Then, did the Korea Communication Standard Commission play a role? First, most of the controversial Paris reports were sanctioned by the Korea Communications Commission.
In the regulations on broadcasting deliberation, items that should not confuse viewers with unclear information during disaster broadcasts, items that should not give unnecessary fear and anxiety to viewers, victims, and families through overly sensational reports were applied as sanctions.
Korea Communications Standard Commission said if the insurance amount is introduced to premise of the death of the missing person, there is a concern that it may cause mental pain to the family of the missing.
However, some criticized that the Commission strongly disciplined reports against the government and imposed life punishment on favorable reports.
The media is responsible for conveying only the fact without being shaken by anything.
However, people are still angry that they have lost this responsibility to the national disaster. Media parties hope to realize the seriousness of these problems and prevent them from happening again.
안녕하세요. 인천 해성 고등학교 모의유엔 동아리 H문입니다. 모의유엔에 대해 들어보셨나요? 모의유엔이란 말 그대로 유엔의 여러 산하기구에서 다루는 다양한 의제를 가지고 국제사회에 관심 있는 학생들끼리 모여 사무국, 의장, 대사, 그리고 스태프의 역할을 맡아 모의로 회의해보는 활동입니다. 오늘 저희 동아리에서는 전 세계적으로 문제가 되고 있는 난민인식 개선, 난민 수용의 방안을 모색하는 회의를 시연해보려고 합니다. 본격적인 회의에 앞서 의장은 토의할 의제를 소개하고 대사단들이 출석을 부릅니다. 의장이 Delegate of라고 박나라를 부르면 참석했다는 것을 알리기 위해 이름표를 들고 present, 즉 참석했다라고 말합니다.
Good morning, delegates. This is the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. My name is Minji Kim, and I will be the chair for today. This committee will be discussing a single agenda item, finding measures to improve awareness of refugees and refugees accommodation. At this point, the chair would like to conduct roll call. When the chair calls out your delegation, please raise your placards high and say present. Delegate of Canada.
Present.
Delegate of France.
Present.
Delegate of Germany.
Present.
Delegate of Turkey.
Present.
Delegate of UK.
Present.
Delegate of USA.
Present.
With 6 delegates present, we have now met the quorum. Before moving on, the chair would like to notify that 3 or more voters are needed to satisfy a simple majority, and 4 or more voters are needed to satisfy a supermajority. There will be no opening speeches done for this session.
이제 본격적인 회의에 들어갑니다. 먼저 대수단으로부터 원하는 회의 형식 및 총 지속 시간, 그리고 개인 발언 시간을 포함한 내용의 발의를 받고 이 발의가 투표 절차에 따라 통과가 될 시 회의가 시작됩니다.
At this point, are there any points or motions on the floor?
Motion to move into a moderate caucus for the purpose of sharing current state in each nation through a duration time of 5 minutes, individual speaking time of 30 seconds.
At this point, are there any points or motions on the floor? Seeing none, there has been a motion to move into moderated caucus for the purpose of sharing current states in each nation through a duration time of 5 minutes and individual speaking time of 30 seconds. Under the chair's discretion, this motion automatically passes.
개인 발언 시간 30초, 총 지속 시간 5분의 공식 회의가 독일 대사의 발의를 통해 열렸습니다. 모의위원회 각 세션은 주로 공식 회의인 모더리티 캐커스와 비공식 회의인 언모더리티 캐커스를 통해 진행됩니다. 비공식 회의는 대사들이 자리에서 일어나 자유롭게 블럭을 형성해 의견을 나누는 시간인데요. 이와 조금 다른 형식을 띠는 공식 회의에서는 앞에 놓인 명패를 들어 발언권을 얻은 대사가 제한된 시간 내에 가지고 있는 의견을 표명하게 됩니다. 공식 회의는 발의를 든 사람이 첫 번째로 말할 수 있는 기회를 얻기 때문에 독일 대사가 공식 회의를 시작합니다.
Since the delegate of Germany has raised the motion, she will be the first speaker. Delegate of Germany, please rise and give your speech.
Germany is a refugee comparable country in Western Europe. It accommodates many political exiles from communist countries, and a large influx of migrant workers came in. However, currently financial burdens such as housing and social protection and medical support for refugees are increasing. This delegate would like to hear the opinions of other embassies on the issue of refugee acceptation in Germany.
Yes, delegate of France.
France is known as a representative immigrant and refugee country. France led the immigration cover system with Germany to actively accommodate refugees during the 2050 refugee crisis. This can be predicted in the future that France will implement a more active refugee policy to accommodate refugees than other EU members.
Yes, delegate of USA.
The United States accommodates more than 60,000 refugees every year. So USA provides support for refugees seeking safe havens in the United States and manages U.S. refugee and trade programs to settle refugees in the United States. There are 2 administrative agencies: Office of Refugee Graduation and Bureau of Population, Refugees and Migration.
Delegates, the time for the moderated caucus has elapsed. At this point, are there any points or motions on the floor? Seeing none, now the chair has opened up a new gender speakers list.
공식 회의 시간이 모두 끝났습니다. 의장 재량에 따라 각국 대사들로부터 의제에 대해 공표하고 싶은 의견 및 해결 방안 모색에 있어서 보다 명확한 의사를 듣기 위해 일반 발언자 목록, 즉 General Speakers 리스트가 열렸습니다.
Delegates wishing to be added on the list, please raise your placards high until the chair calls out your delegation. Delegate of France, Canada, and the order. Delegates wishing to be added on the list later on, please send up a note to the chairs. Delegate of France, please come out to the podium and deliver your speech. You have 90 seconds to speak, and you may begin when you're ready.
일반 발언자 목록에서는 앞선 공식, 비공식 회의와는 다르게 희망하는 대사에 한해서 의장이고 호명된 순서대로 연단에 나와 발표를 진행하게 됩니다.
France wants to introduce the immigration cover system. It is expected that the immigration cover system will not only solve the refugee problem, but also fill the shortage of manpower in countries that accept immigration. Therefore, this delegate hopes many countries will introduce immigration cover systems.
Delegate of France, you have 30 seconds remaining. How would you like to wield your remaining time?
Back to chair.
Thank you, Delegate. You may go back to your seat. Delegate of Canada, please come out to the podium and deliver your speech. You have 90 seconds to speak, and you may begin when you're ready.
The delegate of Canada is positive about accepting the refugees, but in Canada you have to take a short interview with immigration officer, send it to Immigration Refuse Board. Then they will give you a personal information form and you have to fill out the form. You can see it's very complex, so I hope that a simpler method as applying for refuse will be possible for refugees.
Delegate of Canada, you have 40 seconds remaining. How would you like to yield your time?
Up to chair.
Thank you, Delegate. You may go back to your seat. At this point, are there any points or motions on the floor?
Motion to move into a moderated caucus for 5 minutes individual speaking time of 30 seconds for the purpose of sharing a potential solution for a given agenda.
일반 발언자 목록 시간이 모두 끝났습니다. 따라서 의장의 제안하에 30초의 개인 발언 시간과 총 지속 시간 5분간의 공식 회의가 터키 대사로부터 발의되었습니다. 이전과 마찬가지로 공식 회의에서는 발의자가 첫 번째 발언자가 되므로 곧바로 터키 대사의 입장 표명이 이어지겠습니다.
At this point, are there any points or motions on the floor? Seeing none, there has been a motion to move into moderated caucus for the purpose of sharing potential solutions. Total duration time of 5 minutes. Individual speaking time of 30 seconds. Delegates wishing to vote for this motion, please raise your placards high. Delegates wishing to vote against this motion, please raise your placards high. With 4 delegates for and 2 delegates against, this motion passes, and since the delegate of Turkey has raised the motion, she will be the first speaker. Please rise and give out your speech.
Turkey accepts many refugees and will take a legitimate level of responsibility. This delegate hopes that each country will take legitimate responsibility to prevent refugees from being left unattended in cold weather and dangerous environments, and also wants the situation to improve as soon as possible.
Yes, Delegate of Canada.
Although there are several problems in accepting refugees, Canada currently accepts Syrian refugees and provides temporary housing to a not small number of people. And the fact that these temporary residents are located in their cities make it difficult for refugees to adapt economically. Therefore, rather than providing a way to provide housing in a place where refugees can easily to adapt.
Yes, Delegate of UK.
There has been a successful case where the UK provided a budget of $30 million to provide shelters and sanitation facilities to refugees under the Afghan People Movement and Support Plan, and $10 million were donated to an organization such as the UN Refugee Organization. As a result, it gave a helping hand to help not only the refugees who entered the UK, but also the refugees around the world. Therefore, this delegate would like to recommend this solution to other delegates.
Delegates, the time for the moderated caucus has elapsed. At this point, are there any points or motions on the floor? Yes, Delegate of USA.
Motion to close the debate on this agenda.
공식 회의 시간이 모두 끝났습니다. 모든 국가의 실정에 맞추어 협의안을 도출해내는 본회의 목적을 달성하였기에 대사는 의제에 대한 토의를 마치기 위한 목적의 발의를 합니다.
There has been a motion to close the debate on this agenda. We will directly move into voting procedure for this motion. Delegates wishing to vote for this motion, please raise your placards high. With an anonymous majority, this motion passes. At this point, are there any points or motions on the floor? Yes, Delegate of UK.
Motion to adjourn the meeting until next Festa.
There has been a motion to adjourn the meeting until the next Festa. Delegates wishing to vote for this motion, please raise your placards high. With an anonymous vote, this motion passes, and clapping is in order.
안장일치로 휴회에 대한 발의가 통과되어 다음 페스타까지 회의가 연기되었습니다. 이로써 모든 회의 절차가 마무리되었습니다. 저희 동아리에서 시행하는 회의 어떠셨나요? 저희 동아리 H모는 모의위원회 본 취지와 상응하게 진로 계열을 구애받지 않고 단순히 영어 실력과 같은 누군가의 개별적 역량만을 평가하는 경쟁이 아니라 주어진 의제에 대해 직접 각국의 대표가 되어 그 입장을 이해하고 대변해내며 국제적 이해관계 속에서 효율적인 결론을 도출해내는 협력을 추구해왔습니다. H만이 준비한 모의위원 회의를 충분히 즐기셨기를 바라며 이상으로 시연을 마치도록 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.